The trail is about 85 kilometers long. Our spot for tonight, which will be the ruins of this castle over there. This is the site of a Celtic village. Ooh, this is really cool to be able to camp in a location like this. I didn't bring a stove this time, the first time ever I'm going stoveless. But yeah, Otto is so afraid. This is the reality of hiking with a rescue dog that has been shot before. Good morning everyone! As you can see, we're on a new adventure, another hiking, backpacking trip, and I'm really excited. The weather is great and it's supposed to be some warm autumn days, so I'm really happy. We are hiking in a different location, as you probably guessed. We are through hiking the Soonwaldsteig, which is located in the west of Germany. It's a wooded area and also a national park, and it's part of a lower mountain range. So yeah, about 500 to 700 meters above sea level probably. The area is not too far from where I grew up and where my parents still live. So yeah, it's really nice to show you another area for hiking, an area that I'm quite familiar with, although I have never hiked the Soonwaldsteig before. The trail is about 85 kilometers long, so a little over 52 miles, and we're doing that at a leisurely pace over 3.5 days, 3 nights. Of course, camping. The nights are quite cold already, around 4 to 5 degrees, but yeah, we will be fine. And I'm really excited. The trail is known for being peaceful and quiet. And I'm just happy to walk through the woods and just be in nature and sleeping outside, sleeping in a tent, making food outside. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great day. We just left the start point, which is Kion, which is a small town, and I went there by train and we just started our hike. So let's go! We are about 8 miles in and it's getting really warm now. I think it's around 25 degrees, so yeah, a bit warm. But luckily a lot of the trail goes through the forest, so it's really nice to be in the shade. Ooh, we're walking through a tunnel. There are a lot of old mining areas in this area. I think in this case it used to be a lead and tin mine. Look at that! Ooh, this is so cool. I can already see our spot for tonight, which will be the ruins of this castle over there. The reason why we can camp there, basically in the old castle, is a system called trekking camps. You can basically wild camp at specific locations, and they're managed by the county, and you just pay a small fee and then you can wild camp there. There's no infrastructure, so there's no water. There's oftentimes a compost toilet, but that's the only thing. You have to take all your rubbish with you. No running water, and they're in like remote locations, so you can't go there with a car, so you have to hike there. And I think it's a really great system because depending on the country in Germany, the rules on wild camping are quite strict. Obviously it's not legal, but I feel like there's less of a wild camping community, which is why I feel like it's less tolerated than it is in England, for example. The rules are quite strict, so it's not just trespassing and you will not just be asked to move on, but if you get caught, there's oftentimes a fine that can be quite high, especially if it's in a national park like this. So I think these locations are really a good option to have the peace and quiet of wild camping, but still doing it legally. And you just book them online, and after that you get the GPS coordinates and the information, and you can go there and camp. I think it's a great system because it also means that you can go on really cool locations like in the old castle. That's where we are headed. Now it's still early, it's only 4 o'clock, but the days are not that long anymore. There's a little cafe and I got a coffee. Apparently this is the site of a Celtic village that dates from the 2nd century BC, and I just read that a couple of decades ago they actually did some archaeological research here and found the basically the ruins of the village and a 8-meter high wall around it. And apparently they built some houses to resemble the Celtic village, or so that visitors can see what it maybe looked like. So it's really interesting, but it's closed, so I can't go in to have a look around. And we're on our last climb up to the ruins. I think there are quite a lot of ruins left to see the structure and how it looked. few hundred years ago, so it's really interesting, like a lost place to explore. There are a couple of places here and a fireplace. Different parts of the castle are now basically different rooms where you can wild camp in. So there's the old chapel and the prison, and we are in the tower, the old tower on the north side. So I'm just having a look around to see where we will set up our tent. Ooh, this is really cool to be able to camp in a location like this. Oh, that's really nice. This is the place where the chapel used to be, and this is the north tower, which will be our spot for tonight. Oh, that's cute! Didn't have reception almost the whole day. It's a weird feeling, just if you're alone, and if there is, usually you would just check your phone or something. The sun sets at 6:30 and only rises at 7. The night is really long, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting mentally. But yeah, there's always something to learn, and I like to challenge myself. Since the national park I'm hiking in is mainly wooded areas, there's a fire ban oftentimes, which means that you can't have any campfires, like even in the fire pit, and you're not even allowed to use stoves. And since it's been quite dry these past few weeks, there has been a fire ban in place for a lot of the time. There's no ban for tonight and for tomorrow, but I didn't bring a stove this time, the first time ever I'm going stoveless. One reason is because I thought there probably would be a fire ban in place and I wouldn't be able to use it anyway. And another reason is that I want to try cold soaking, so no cooking at all, not having a hot coffee in the morning or a tea at night, and no warm food. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I never did cold soaking before. I always carried a stove with me, but obviously you save quite a bit of weight on fuel and the stove itself if you're not taking those things. My very first meal, I brought a leak-proof container. I already put in my dinner for tonight, which is ramen noodles. Basically, cold soaking means that you're rehydrating your food, but with cold water instead of hot water. It will still work, like with couscous and instant noodle like these ones. It will still work, but it will take a bit more time. So I think I'm going to prepare this already and then just let it sit for probably half an hour, 40 minutes. Just going to see how it goes. Usually I really love having something warm at night, so this is probably going to be a bit hard to eat it really cold, but I thought I would try it and see if I like it, see if I could save some weight, maybe for shorter backpacking trips or when it's a bit warmer. So I let the ramen noodles soak for a bit, and then there's gonna be a taste test. This is how my ramen looks after almost 1 hour of rehydrating. It's not too bad. The only thing that bothers me is the oil that I've added. Maybe I shouldn't have added it when I'm cold soaking, because it's quite, as you can see, it didn't mix very well. And yeah, now a taste test. It's not too bad really, since the water is not ice cold. It's okay, it's not too bad, but I shouldn't have added the oil. Yeah, that's the only thing. Apart from that, it's okay and edible. We had a relaxed evening. I had my dinner, which was okay. And now, as you can see, the sun has just set, so it's getting dark pretty soon. And yeah, just gonna brush my teeth and then I'm going into the tent. There are almost no clouds, so it's probably going to be a cold night. It's been an interesting day. I mean, the trail has been beautiful, and yeah, really, it was really nice hiking through wooded areas on small footpaths, but it was also very remote. I only saw like 2 people the whole day. And then on top of that, not having reception. And yeah, it was a bit, I don't know, maybe a good lesson for me too, because oftentimes I listen to audiobooks or podcasts, but I actually didn't download a lot. I don't know, I just somehow forgot, or I thought I could just download them on the way, but then with no reception I was a bit stuck just with my own thoughts. But yeah, that's also an interesting experience. And yeah, now I'm going to bed. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. We had a great night. It was really quiet. It was really nice just seeing the stars and just hearing nothing. But it was quite cold. My watch only showed 6 degrees. But it was fine. My sleep setup was fine. And Otto had his little jacket too and his blanket. So yeah, it was all okay. And now the sun is out already. And I'm going to have my breakfast again. That's something that's probably going to be a bit hard. Yesterday the pot noodles, having the cold pot noodles was fine because it was still warm. But now, yeah, this is going to be my breakfast. Basically overnight oats. I put them in yesterday, soaked them in water, and I'm gonna have that, but yeah, probably quite cold. I thought I would be having a coffee too, like a cold instant coffee, but I don't think I will have one. I think I will save my little coffee packet for this afternoon when it's a bit warmer. I thought I would show you a little bit more of the castle. There were like different houses for the family of knights that basically guarded the area. The castle dates back from the 11th century, but there are some sources that suggest that the castle was built even before that, in the 10th century. And it's incredible how well preserved it is. These were the old stables in here, and apparently this was the main building. And this is the bridge that was used to enter the castle itself. So interesting. It's a really big castle with really a lot of buildings, and apparently that was, for the area here, that was quite unusual. So it really is a special place. We just set off from our camp spot. It's already 9:30 and we have another relaxed day. I think it's only about 13 miles like yesterday, so yeah, we have the whole day. I think I didn't tell you about this, but the castle that we stayed at is called Schmidtburg, and in the area it's quite famous because after it's been partially destroyed and fell apart a little bit, it was used again in the 18th century by a man called Schinderhannes. His real name is Johann, I think, and then I don't remember his last name because it's only called Schinderhannes. And sometimes he's portrayed being a German version of Robin Hood, but I think he was more like a criminal actually, and he was convicted for murder, I think a couple, 6 or 7 even. So yeah, it was more like a criminal in the area, and he was executed in 1803 at the age of only 24 years. Basically he hid in the forest in this area, and at some point he also used the ruins, or the remains of the castle, as his residence. So yeah, this is what it's quite famous for. If I can find a portrait of him, I will put it up here. But yeah, a little fun fact for you. And now we start hiking, so let's go! The day didn't start great. We just started walking about an hour ago, and now there have been not some shooting noise, but yeah, the sound of an explosion. Like, it's really far away, probably in the quarries around here, or there's also a military training area a couple of miles away. And yeah, I don't know, it's not close at all, and you could barely hear it, but yeah, Otto is so afraid, and yeah, he refuses to walk now. So yeah, we're basically in the middle of nowhere, and even though the sound is clearly behind us, he refused to just go. I think you can see him shaking. This is really hard. If he wasn't on the lead, he would probably run off and hide somewhere, so I'm really happy. But yeah, since he can't do that, just hide somewhere, he just, yeah, is lying down and refused to walk. The explosion sound is rather frequent, so I don't know. Just maybe wait for a little bit, and yeah. This is the reality of hiking with a rescue dog that has been shot before I adopted him. So yeah, every sound that sounds like a shooting noise or an explosion, like fireworks, yeah, is really triggering for him. So yeah, I don't know.